Hey, what's happening, people? Today I'm testing 4 on-camera flashes, the Canon EL-5, Profoto A10, the Neewer Z2 Pro, and the Godox V100. Of course, I'm gonna do a quick look at the Godox V480 because it has no business being that good for its size. If you're a Canon user, this video is for you because I will test these flashes on my Canon R5 Mark II, so it's on-camera TTL flash. I'm putting all them through the same simple TTL exposure test to see which one delivers the most accurate and consistent results. This is a very straightforward comparison. Same camera, same setting, same light, tripod is locked in place, and Lydia is helping me as the test subject. I'm shooting each flash in pure TTL, no modifiers, firing straight at the subject. The goal here is not to create crazy light, it's just simply to evaluate the exposure accuracy, consistency and color behavior of these flashes. So just to recap the setup pretty fast, we're gonna use the Canon R5 Mark II, Canon R5 24-105 lens. Camera are gonna be on a tripod, same distance to the subject, same ambient light, all flashes in TTL. I'm gonna have face priority set on camera, straight on shots, no bounce, no modifiers. This removes variables and lets us judge the flashes strictly on the TTL performance and color consistency. I will shoot some backlight images too, just to see how it works, because for flash on camera this will be a very common situation to use your flash. Of course, we're gonna start with the Profoto A10. The Profoto A10 has the best light quality here. Clean color, soft fall-off, and very natural rendering. TTL performance is very solid, not perfect, but very consistent overall. Profoto has a nice light quality all the time, and it looks good even when the flash is straight on the camera, blasting light to the subject. Of course, Profoto comes with a price tag, you'd expect, but the experience and the build quality are top-notch. Also, Profoto is very sensitive on settings, and you need to make sure that the hot shoe connects good with your camera, because otherwise it will not work. So you have to pay attention how you set up your flash on camera configuration, because it's a little tricky, and make sure you have a solid connectivity, and after that everything works flawlessly. Profoto has great light rendering and a very pleasant color for a situation like this. When I'm traveling and I want to keep my gear light, Profoto small flashes like A10 and A2 are my preferred choice, because they work great off camera with magnetic modifiers, and the batteries are swappable between A10 and A2 in case you need it. The batteries charge pretty fast in about 80 minutes, and it will give you 450 full flashes. The next one is Neewer Q2 Pro. Neewer has been improving rapidly. The Q2 Pro is surprisingly capable with great TTL consistency, good power, and a growing ecosystem behind it. Not quite as polished as the Profoto or as deeply integrated as the Godox, but absolutely respectable, especially considering the price tag. I always enjoy using newer lights. I like the color rendering these flashes offer, and of course you need some exposure compensation, but that is very common with the TTL system from all of these flashes. The Godox V100. I think Godox continues to offer incredible value. The V100 performed very well, exposure was good, and the consistency was strong overall. The big advantage here is the Godox ecosystem, which gives you access to everything from tiny on-camera flashes to 1200 watt studio strobes, all with one trigger system, which is very impressive. V100 is very good, but for me was the one with least consistent exposure on TTL between all these flashes. The Canon EL-5. I think this one delivered the most consistent exposure out of everything here. Frame after frame, the TTL stayed extremely stable and the color temperature matched the ambient scenes all the time. That's because the Canon Smart Hot Shoe communication has the new hot shoe on this flash, communicates with the camera, and they can transfer the white balance and all kind of information better than any third-party flash for Canon. But there is a downside for the EL-5, which is fantastic on camera and almost unusable off camera. Once you switch this flash to off camera to try to use a trigger like ST-E3 or ST-E10, it becomes unreliable and drops the connectivity all the time. So if you want to build a larger lighting system, the EL-5 becomes very limited. The Godox V480. This is one of my favorites. The V480 isn't officially part of this comparison, but I wanted to include it because it exceeds expectation for a flash this size. It's compact, powerful, and it produces very stable exposure. If you need a small, reliable flash to travel with, this one is really impressive, and I like to use it with the IT30 Pro because these two flash combination is really enjoyable to use. So here is the bottom line. All these flashes perform very well. TTL always has slight variation, and that is normal, but nothing here was unusable or widely inconsistent when I tested these flashes. However, the Canon EL-5 was the most accurate and the most consistent in the test. It simply communicates better with the camera than any other flashes. The EL-5 has smart shoe connectors, and it only works with some of the latest Canon camera models, and it's very accurate. So it doesn't work with all the older Canon camera. It's just a newer one which have this smart shoe connector, and when you have it on camera, it works flawlessly. The problem is usability. As long as the EL-5 stays on camera, it's fantastic, but once you try to use it off camera with Canon triggers, the connection becomes unreliable. So as a system, it doesn't scale up well. Also, the battery drains like it's no tomorrow. If you leave it in the flash, just store it in the flash with the battery in, and it's down to zero in a couple of days. You have to remember to take it out after each use, and I think this is a huge inconvenience. I have to attach it with the rubber bands on the flash pouch, which is also very cheap made and doesn't protect the flash at all. But if your style of shooting is mostly using flash on camera, this is the best. So now this is where choosing a system matters, because with Godox you have huge flexible ecosystem, excellent for building a complete lighting setup. Profoto, premium reliability and color polish user experience. Neewer is very affordable, improving fast, and now much more capable than ever before. Canon EL-5, unmatched on camera TTL consistency, but not practical for multi-light setups. And for the final verdict, I think my recommendations when you choose a flash for best pure on camera TTL flash, Canon EL-5. Best system for expanding into multi-lighting work is Godox or Profoto, and the best budget option, Neewer Q2, but it scales up very fast right now with more lights and strobes adding to the system, and pretty soon all gonna be a very complex system. Of course, the most impressive small flash, Godox V480. All of these can deliver good results if you just depend on whether you are staying on camera or going into a large lighting system. It's up to you. Thank you for watching. If you want to see these flashes tested off camera, let me know in the comments below. And don't forget to subscribe for more lighting test reviews and tutorials. And I'll see you next time.